We're finally bringing you some new Cornel West news because he has now another strategy for gaining ballot access, this time forming a new third party called the Justice for All Party, which he was going to use to access the ballot in certain states where he is not already on the ballot. And by certain states, I mean 48 states where he's not on the ballot. He is on in Alaska and Oregon, really making a pitch for that Pacific Northwest vote so far. But he's got to get on the other 48. And so here's his plan to do that.
Are proud to already be on the ballot in the state of Alaska, Oregon. We're on the move and we have a 50-state strategy. That's why the establishment of the Justice for All Party. That's right. We're calling for the Justice for All Party to be used to gain access to the ballot in those states where it's easier to gain access to the ballot party as opposed to independent. I'll be an independent in other states. But I'm calling for you as volunteer, you as citizen, you to become part of this campaign, which ain't nothing but a moment in a movement based on the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., Fannie Lou Hamer, Dorothy Day, Rabbi Heschel, Edward Zayed, Cesar Chavez. It goes on and on. The best of the history of America, the best of the president of America, concerned about poor and working people. Justice for All Party. We're on our way to 50 states. Come with us. Be a part of us.
All right, I want to read some of this.
Where the fuck do you get the balls?
Well, actually, I got to say, one thing I'll give Cornel West credit for, as opposed to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he used copyright-free music under his track so that we wouldn't get in trouble for playing it. When we did RFK's Falconry video, we got a copyright claim, couldn't make any cash off of that stream, couldn't make any of that sweet cash off of that live stream. So props to Cornel for that, because I ran this through the copyright checks and fool me once kind of thing, right? But I want to read this here.
He pulled the soundtrack from Lady Hawk, right?
Yeah, exactly. I want to show this here. Did you know each state requires independent candidates to meet unique requirements to be allowed alongside duopoly party candidates on the election ballot? Yes! Yes, I did know that. I absolutely knew that. That's why you shouldn't have quit the Green Party. Like, what do you mean, did you know that? Yeah, of course I knew that. That's why that's why a lot of people were so pissed when you quit the Greens, because we knew that it was going to be a lot harder to get ballot access if you didn't secure a party line. So maybe did you know that?
That is why a lot of us went so far as to say, "Oh, he's not really running for president. He just likes to talk to podcasters." Because if he were really running for president, he would not be bending over backwards to make sure that he can't cost Joe Biden the election and thereby cost himself his guest appearances on CNN.
Right. Well, here, this goes on. Because there's another piece of writing we're supposed to read here. Due to diverse state requirements, Dr. West will stand as the Justice for All candidate in some states, an independent in other states, and in others may be the candidate of choice of another third party. All right, now look. When the People's Party first launched a few years ago, I was quite excited for it.
Was that his slogan?
What's that?
Catchy.
Yeah.
Catchy.
When the People's Party launched a few years ago, I was pretty excited for it because I thought we needed a new party. And I thought there was a lot of energy to be harnessed in the wake of the Bernie campaigns. And so I thought it was a good idea. And if he decided a year ago, you know what? I'm going to start my own party, create it according to how I want it, I would have said, all right, fine, good luck. That's a plan of sorts. I mean, you'd still probably be better off on the Greens just for ballot access. But if you decided to do something like this a year ago, it would be okay, long shot,
right.
but
at least
plausible.
It would make some kind of sense.
Right. To do this at this stage, it's February. You're on two ballots in two very low population states where it doesn't take as much work to get on the ballot. Once again, you need 330,000 signatures to get on California and Texas combined, which really means you need 500,000 because the DNC sends their lawyers in and they invalidate everyone they can, and they are able to invalidate quite a bit. And so that puts you so far behind where you would have been had you stuck with the Greens. So now we can add this to the list of launch with the People's Party, switch to the Greens, switch from green to independent, and now this hybrid strategy of creating a new party with its own infrastructure and its own hierarchy and its own dynamics in some states, stay independent in others, and try and get on other ballot lines in other states. You're going to put this all together in 5 or 6 months, because that's how long you have. You don't have till November to get on the ballot. You have until basically most of the deadlines are late spring, early summer. Some states, I think you have until August. But you don't have that long. You got now, on average, per state, probably about 120 to 150 days. You're going to pull all this together now? You decide to do this again at this stage in the game? Come on.
I think what you're forgetting is that he's a jazz man.
Yeah, well,
and
that's what he said.
as a jazz man, improvisation is his forte. And I'm pretty confident he's going to be able to just kind of like stand up bass his way into at least 40 states.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Ba-doom,
We'll see.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
ba-doom, boom, boom, boom.
Not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's as soon as I saw this, I said, "Oh, good, another time suck for the left." That sounds great. Where do I sign? We really want to encourage people to put their time and energy into that bullshit. Not like we don't have a bunch of other, most prominently Green Party, failed third party, half-ass, co-opted, set on fire, dumpster fire experiments that we could go get involved in that already have ballot access.
Right.
Like you said, if he had announced this a year ago with all of the goodwill that he had built up, I think people would have taken a look at it. But clearly, even if he's not just doing everything he can to pretend to run for president without actually having an impact, even if he's sincere and he's gone about it this way, he's far too incompetent to make something like that happen anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to pull together the organization at this phase.
Well, certainly, I mean, nobody could, but he'd be the last person from what we've seen that would be able to pull that off.
Well, he broke from the Greens in, I think, mid-September, because I started chasing down that story. I started talking to some people, trying to figure out exactly what happened. And then October 7th happened, and I didn't pursue it anymore because it seemed very unimportant in the aftermath of that. So he made the switch from Green to Independent in September. It's now February. So in 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, in 5 months, he's gained ballot access in 2 states, both very low population states, where the threshold is obviously lower than in a high population state like a New York or California, Texas, or a swing state even like a Pennsylvania or a Michigan, right? Something that would really have an impact. So how is this going to happen? It's absurd. It's insane. It's just insane.
Of course. And who, I mean, realistically, who's going to even involve themselves with that?
How could you? This is the fourth party.
It's such a clown show. Like, who's going to get behind that? It's sad. Sad, as our illustrious once and future president might say. Sad.
It is sad because this is a great year for third parties, potentially.
Sure.
And one after the other just blew it. From Cornel and Jill Stein to, they couldn't get it together to team up somehow or get a strategy going. They had to split off. Now they're going to split whatever Green Socialist vote they have. RFK obviously squandered every ounce of goodwill with this insane, sick Israel shit. Now he's talking about running as a libertarian, which would be great for the Libertarian Party and great for his numbers. But what? I'm going to tell people to, invest? I mean, come on. You can't even go there at this point. So it was a real opportunity this year.
I have very
and they blew
often lamented that you can't get crack out of a vending machine.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So I might get behind the libertarians.
But yeah, no, I mean, huge opportunities for all these third parties, and no one was able to capitalize on it.
Please clap.